Hey everyone, it's Rolls the Gamer. Welcome to episode 30 of the Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough. We're here, we did it. We reached the mythical 30. This game actually took less parts than I was thinking it might. Granted, some of them are longer than I thought they would be. But this is like, to be honest, this is one of those titles that like I never thought I would be comfortable doing alone. That's why like early on, me and Lennon did the Metal Gear, did the Majora's Mask playthrough together. Plus, that's my favorite game, and I wanted it to be super fun, so I have my buddy with me. Same reason Casey's like on 10 with me, or Captain McMuffin, whatever, whichever you like, because it's just so damn fun to work with these people. My friends, you know, more so than any.
Are you reading
creative
me?
partners.
Do you want to save your mission data up to this point?
So Arsenal's taking off. Save your game here. Yeah. I can do the tanker on extreme.
Your mission data's been saved.
Okay. It's the save after this that's super important. Right.
Is he still alive?
But this, hell, Ocelot even mentions this is like bringing up memories of the first game.
Nothing on this guy. NSA, CIA, FBI. He doesn't exist in any database. He's a non-existent operative from a non-existent organization. I suspected as much.
I know this man.
I know this man. Wake him up.
Ocelot, Solidus is just breaking all sorts of. Solidus is right, by the way. This is of all, like, in the end of every Metal Gear, like the whole Metal Gear Solid arc, like Solidus was the most. This guy, the villain, is the most right one of all. He's trying to take back all these things from the Patriots. Granted, his way of doing it isn't good, but wait till like near the final two parts when he does his like.
You've grown.
Does his like history, culture. These are the things I want to take back from you.
Of cerebral implants.
Anyway.
Have they altered your memory too?
I have this for the Xbox 360 collection. Hit Y repeatedly. It should be hit triangle. But I'm happy the Xbox did a port of the Metal Gear collection. You know, like those guys deserve. The Microsoft kids deserve to play the games too.
This is my son. I taught him everything.
PS2, man, is just. Ugh, it's the best console ever. So many amazing stories on it.
Jack,
like this and Final Fantasy X both originate on that. So the two current playthroughs in my like series days, Metal Gear Monday and Final Fantasy Friday, are continuing. I don't know why those are corny ass names, but I love it.
The 80s.
With some regularity, hopefully.
You were one of the best among the child soldiers.
I'm talking all over this, but he was a child soldier.
You were barely 10 years old. You became the platoon leader of the small boy unit. At the time, your outstanding kill record earned you several nicknames, including White Devil and Jack the Ripper.
So he's kind of has like.
I was your godfather. I named you.
There's definitely the big boss Solid Snake parallel going on here with these two, but
I wondered what happened to you. I should have
nah.
known they would recruit you.
In other ways, Solidus is Raiden's way more different than
It's an
Snake.
interesting coincidence. If he's a lackey for the Patriots, I doubt he knows anything of interest.
David.
What should we do with him? We'll use him like you suggested. What about
Is that still canon?
Ignore them.
Snake's name is David.
Happening again?
It took me a minute to realize for Big Boss, John and Jack are the same name, really.
In another hour, we demonstrate the power of Arsenal gear.
I know people, you know,
Standard weapons, of course.
John, Jonathan,
Yes,
Jack.
planned. At last report, all is well with GW.
Christopher Chris.
The men are being
I don't know.
with arsenal gear equipment as ordered.
That was a strong one, boy. I'm tripping over that shit.
You're the spitting image of Big Boss.
That's a compliment coming from fucking Ocelot.
Is that so? Perhaps I should be
But
grateful.
yeah, Snake's name, and if you recall our Metal Gear Solid 1 playthrough, because we did the ending
This situation
with Meryl.
very nostalgic.
David. My name's David, by the way.
Why inside arsenal gear, of course. Actually,
Oh,
Moses.
Ocelot. You and your cryptic words.
I'll take
So much goes on in these parts, like,
more, do you?
recording one of these 15-minute commentaries feels way longer. That may also be because of the time it is in the morning, and because I am tired, and also altered.
Don't move.
I like
Stay as
being
you are.
altered lately
We're being monitored by a
in my
camera.
free time.
What are you up to?
I'm
Because
switching over to nano-communication.
we work hard, we play hard. America's steel industry, keep reaching for that rainbow,
Mr.
boys.
X, Ninja?
Correct.
Did they even play that episode of The Simpsons anymore with
The Russian troops.
John Waters as like the gay guy and Homer's like repulsed at first?
Screen?
Because it's very much an Archie Bunkery moment where they're clearly like, Homer's the jackass, you know? Like, you're not supposed to identify with him.
I deceived
I swear, older audiences were way more clever. Because All in the Family would get so fuccking canceled today
by the Patriots.
if it
It
premiered.
all
Like,
started 2 years ago when I lost my father.
yeah, he
during the
called,
tanker
you know, he
incident.
was distrustful of his neighbor, of the Jeffersons, and
So we joined
he called his son
forces with
Pollock meathead and all this shit. But it's like, you can like Archie, you can think he's a nice enough guy, but you also have to be smart enough to understand there's flaws in his thinking, why he's the way he is, and we're supposed to fucking laugh at that.
It turned out I was in a
Like, I don't think people could get that shit today.
In the morning, my child was gone.
Anyway, I'm talking all over Olga's explanation about being
Your child?
who she is and why the Patriots have their hands controlling her like a puppet.
Never even held the child in my own arms.
Actually, meet her child later in the series in 4.
For what you did.
She's alright.
What about
She's a good
Snake?
girl.
I thought you were enemies.
He wasn't responsible for my father's death. Actually, we owe
It
him
actually
a
is Snake and Otacon that end up rescuing her.
The sinking tanker alive.
So you
That's so interesting. Like, those cutscenes, like, that are just normal Snake, but then they just added water in the background. Like,
fought with Snake.
I was like, where were these scenes at the first times I saw them? I didn't even fucking know. But then, you know.
Snake.
So Snake was talking to her right at the beginning of the sniper mission. That's where he was. Like, they even have an out for him built in, you know?
So you joined hands with him to pay back a debt.
No.
Mutual gain.
Mutual gain.
My job was to assist you.
Olga's voice actress does a better
Your mission is
accent than a girl I know that
Patriots
tried to
with jobs
pretend to
that
be
failed on
Russian.
my part.
Well, she tried to pretend to be German, but she did like a Russian accent,
Simply,
and it was like,
life depends on your success.
I mean that, like, she was,
For your child.
I'm not gonna say who she is, but she was pretending
Me.
to have this accent,
Sort this out.
and every so often, like, she would slip out of it, and you could catch her. Someone I used to work with, and it's pretty fucking funny. Okay, so my cord came out, so we're picking up from this moment on, 9:27. No results so far. I think the Patriots have tampered with the program.
Commence his attack any minute. He's got to be stopped.
What about the virus?
Really sure. Okay, I didn't lose too much.
The Patriots
What I said. The cord. I love this snowball, but the cord just popped right out of the back of it,
Me out of this thing.
and that kills the recording on Audacity.
after I leave this
Good
room.
old Audacity. How long have we had you?
Snake's got everything. I couldn't
I
bring
feel like I first got Audacity downloaded like on my mid 2000s desktop
the passageway ahead leads
that
to
I
a
took to
hangar.
college when I was
I gave
living
him
in
the
Lancaster
coordinates
for a
the
year. I tried to do college away from home, and it was not good. It was a technical school.
It's impossible to completely destroy this thing.
Those years seem so far away. I mean, it's over a decade, and it's like, that seems... I know this is like nostalgia talking or whatever, but it literally seems like another place and time. Even though, you know, I could go drive to the building that I slept in within 2 hours, you know, but I lived there away from home. I was not prepared for that responsibility. But I'm not one for looking back, because I think every decision we make gets us to where we are. Like, my dad said to me, like, oh, imagine if you would have went to Shippensburg University right away, and you would have already graduated when you were 22 instead of 25, and, you know, like, you would have had a few years head start on where you currently are. And it's like, it took a lot of fumbling to find this career field that, like, I'm really ready to settle into, like, this residential care thing, because I've got a good house and some good coworkers and stuff, and future to grow, and possibly work up my way up to working as an office staff, you know, something like that.
Why didn't you tell me?
You couldn't begin to understand.
Anyway,
you wouldn't know that until you tried.
You can't. What I'm saying is, you can't.
I didn't want you to get hurt.
You can't wish for things to be different, because I wouldn't have met.
There was never a real
Let's go over it. I wouldn't. If I wouldn't have fucked up, I probably never would have met Lennon.
It wasn't your
And
fault.
there is a slew of people I know because of him. Comedy friends. You know, when I used to do stand-up. I might start again sometime. I lost one guy, but it's whatever. There's reasons probably for it. You ever, like, lose a friend on Facebook and you're like, why did that happen? And, like, you can't add them again? It's like, okay, whatever. There's a reason for that, and I don't want to harbor any bad will for it, you know? But anyway.
No one is blaming you.
We were shown Hollywood action films.
Comedy friends, the game friends, the guys from Groupcast, including Casey and Riley, who I play D&D with and talk with respectively. One of my closest friends now, and him. I wouldn't have probably started hanging out with Rots every weekend in the same way while being a student. A guy from high school that's now one of my closest friends too. Like, everything would literally be different. So it's like, for what you gain,
when the Civil War ended, those of us who survived were taken in by
is it worth losing the experiences you had to have earlier success? As the years drift further away from that moment of, like, that choice, it's like, oh, I'd rather be here instead.
Terrible nightmares every night. I can never forget.
Jack.
I'm afraid of the night. That's why I don't sleep next to you.
You should have told me.
Told you what? That I'm a killer and always have been?
No.
What I hate more than anything else in the world is my own past. I didn't want you or anyone to know about it. Now I know why I was chosen for this mission. No one can take him on.
He, like, changes his tune awfully. Not changes his tune, but, like,
I've been kept alive.
he's all about killing Solidus all of a sudden.
As soon as I saw Solidus.
Jack, I love you the way you are now. You have to believe me. I didn't know anything about you, I admit that. Where you were born.
He has a hard time accepting her affections.
But I know that now.
And that continues,
you can only get better.
into their future.
And I'll share in your
But there is a happy ending for these two. So there's that to look forward to.
No one can share the burden of what I've done. It's not one of those warm and fuzzy things couples share.
I accept the good and the bad, Jack. That's what you do for someone you love.
I don't want to share my past with anyone. I just want to forget about it.
Jack, I haven't told you, about what I've done.
The last 2 years with you, it's been more than I've ever hoped for.
Jack.
But I can't go any farther. I know you want to get married. But I can't. I can't risk starting a family. There's no way to erase my childhood.
Oh. Just keeps getting
It's
heavier.
all right, Jack. Please, don't say any more.
Next time, I suppose.